Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about the growing disparity in wealth distribution globally and a technique that's causing a stir in increasing assets. For a long time, we've heard about the retirement savings problem with the notion that 20 million yen might not be enough. But if you don't want to compromise your lifestyle, relying on government economic support might not be feasible. In modern Japan, even for salarymen, building assets is becoming essential. So what's the solution? Buy a company? If you're a typical salaryman, you already possess the know-how to run a company. Now let's look at why figures like Tadashi Yanai of fast retailing or Takemitsu Takizaki of Kiens can increase their assets by over 1 trillion yen in just 5 years. It's because they are capitalists. Even CEOs of large corporations can't receive hundreds of billions of yen in executive compensation in 5 years without facing shareholder backlash. However, shareholders don't mind dividends from stocks. Capitalists receive dividends along with executive compensation, which is the key. French economist Thomas Piketty's book, Capital in the 21st Century, raised significant concerns globally. It pointed out that inequality has been widening over the past 30 to 40 years, returning to pre-war levels. In the United States, pre-war society was highly unequal, with the top 1% of the wealthy accounting for about 20% of the country's total income around the 1930s. After World War II, this figure dropped to around 6 to 8%, indicating reduced inequality. However, starting from late 1980s, it began rising again, reaching 13% in 2010. Fast forward 10 years, and the gap continues to widen. According to the World Inequality Report 2022 by the World Inequality Lab read by Piketty, the top 1% of the world's wealthy held 37.8% of global assets in 2021. On the other hand, the bottom 50% of the world's population owns only 2% of global assets combined. In Japan, despite being referred to as a society of mass affluence, the wealth gap is widening. In 2021, households with assets exceeding 100 million yen accounted for about 2.6%, owning approximately 15.9% of the total assets. Similarly, households with assets exceeding 500 million yen accounted for 0.2%, possessing about 6.4% of total assets. So why does this gap keep growing? It's simple. Those without capital basically have no other means to increase wealth besides saving from their salaries. On the other hand, capitalists can increase wealth without working by becoming investors. Piketty introduced a simple inequality in his book, R is more than G. Here, R represents the rate of return on capital and G represents the economic growth rate. This means that the wealth obtained through capital investment grows faster than the wealth obtained through labor. In other words, investing capital yields much higher wealth than saving salaries. In conclusion, the technique to increase wealth lies in becoming a capitalist and investing capital wisely. Thank you for listening.